So around a month ago, I announced that I'm on the hunt for a new fast family daily, and with a healthy budget of £60,000 and bearing many options at that price point in mind, I eventually fell for the new BMW X4M competition LCI. Not the Tesla Model 3 for those who didn't watch to the end of the video. Today, we're going for a first drive and much more on my all-new BMW X4M. Today, not only do we explore my first thoughts on the car and how capable it is, but also what power its M-Power S58 engine actually makes in stock form, and additionally, how fast it covers the quarter mile at a real drag strip. After all, this family car needs to satisfy a petrol head, right? Functional's nice, but being fast comes first. For the best in universal premium ester-containing engine oils and fuel additives for both petrol and diesel engines, check the links down below in the description. Officially gassed, powered by MANNOL. So here it is, guys, my 2022 BMW X4M competition LCI. S58 equipped ZF8 speed gearbox, literally the same running gear as the BMW M2, M3 and M4s, meaning that this has a crazy power plant and all wrapped up in a family friendly car. Now today, guys, I'm not going to be talking too much about the spec of the car initially. If you want to find out more about that, go back to when I actually bought this car. Yes, it cost me £59,000 and it is my new daily. So far, so good. It's done everything I wanted it to do. It is a daily. As you can see in the back, I have got my boy's car seat. Yes, my son Cassius is over a year old now. One day he'll make it to the channel. And yes, as it stands, it is winter and the car is absolute filth. But it's a daily, and that's how we like them. But obviously, this being a family car, you guys probably want to know what the back seats look like and room back here. Yeah, it's okay, heated seats and all that at the back. It's okay, it does the job. And of course, there's people who want to know about the boot space. It's got a decent amount of boot space. However, if boot space is really a concern, go for the X3M. I just like the slope back design of the X4M, hence why I got an X4M. And as mentioned, this isn't going to be any old first drive. I've made you all wait because I've been doing some things behind the scene to make sure this is a fully comprehensive review of the new BMW X4M. But before we hit the road, I just want to give a massive shout out to Carly for supporting the channel and sponsoring today's video. And if you haven't yet heard of Carly, it's basically just this little device here, which connects to your car via the OBD port, then connects to your phone via Bluetooth. And then using the Carly app, this little bad boy gives you an enormous amount of control and insight into your car's ECUs, allowing you to delve in with an incredible amount of functionality, including full information, customization, live data, and much more. All you need to do is connect the device via your OBD port, open the app, and away you go. So one of my personal favorite functions of Carly is the ability to code and customize your car, such as daytime running lights, comfort options, that annoying start-stop. There is literally so many different things to adjust, change, and customize to your preference. Carly's app and scanner can actually provide manufacturer-level diagnostics and access to hidden information inside your car, and also mileage fraud. But of course, please check on the website to see what works with your car. Carly also offers the function for car health checks, service light resets, fault code reading, and then actually helps guide you through step by step using its smart mechanic function to help you find the cause of the issue. So I gave my car a quick health check, and unfortunately, it came up with 14 faults and a moderate warning. A lot of them, however, are voltage related, meaning that at some point the batteries went flat. However, there's a few on there that I want checked. And although I can actually clear these faults on the Carly app, I'm gonna leave them on there because I'm gonna be heading somewhere a little bit later in this video and I'm gonna get the car given a good once over. Guys, I cannot recommend Carly enough. It is literally a scanner on steroids. And if you are interested and do want to purchase one, check the links down below in the description. And if you use my code officiallygas24, you'll save 15% off all your Carly purchases. Don't say I don't look after you. Now, let's hit the road. In my new 2022 BMW X4M competition daily, and of course I feel blessed to be able to call such a car my daily man, we've come a long way. But the reason I bought this car is because I wanted to take pride in what I drive daily. Now, obviously, I own some crazy cars, but I don't get to drive them daily. I wanted something that can get the whole family in, something I take pride in daily to drive, and also something that had a little bit of presence, a little bit of wow. And I feel like this car has that. But guys, you all know me, and I buy my cars with tuning in mind, and we know that this has got the S58 engine, which has a quoted 510 brake horsepower, and I like my cars to give me that feeling, and to get that feeling, they've got to be fast. So is this car fast is the question. Well, for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it into my M2, my pre-selected M2 mode, basically set up with engine, chassis, suspension, everything to Sports Plus, and the gear shifts to 2 out of 3. In fact, let's go up to 3. Basically, what we're going to do is give it a first pull and see if this bus that weighs 2 tons actually feels fast with the quoted 510 brake horsepower. So I'm going to let it do the work itself, let it kick down, and let's go. Listen to it. Yes, the car is fast. The car is stupidly fast for such a big car. 510 brake horsepower doesn't seem like a lot nowadays, but I'm telling you, it's something about that straight 6 twin turbo that just, and the sound of it too. The massive boof between gears. Now, I'm not sure how much of that is actually exhaust note and how much is actually coming out of the speakers, but from where I'm sitting, it sounds pretty good. And bearing in mind, this is a GPF car, so it will have all the GPF filter and everything like that on the stock exhaust system. And this car is completely stock. And it's fast. It is actually fast. And I think when you think of 2 tons in your head, it's like that's a massive amount of weight. And don't get me wrong, it is. But we all know cars of today are slowly but surely getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And if you think about the likes of an M5, an M5 is about 1900 kg, an M3 is about 1800 kg, and the new M5's like 2.5 tons. So in the grand scale of things, like, it's not actually that heavy at 2 tons, and it doesn't feel it on the road either. It just picks up. Look at that. It doesn't feel boaty, it picks up the brakes, like, fill you with so much confidence you don't feel like you're driving a heavy car. Whoa! Man! Jeez! The way this thing covers ground is absolutely insane. It is mad, honestly. There's no words for this car. Like, it's crazy that production cars are coming out of the factory, SUVs, with this much get up and go from stock. I guess the question is it a fast car, or is it just fast for an SUV? But honestly, I think it's a fast car. The way this moves, it's like, I don't think it's just fast for a big car. I think that definitely amplifies it, because it's a weird feeling being high up and moving at that pace. But I think it's an actual fast car. But it definitely masks its weight, and it does it really well, even under braking. Like, the car doesn't feel heavy. Usually big cars feel a bit boaty under braking. You can feel the car pushing you along, if that makes sense. Whereas this, the car stays steady. When cornering, it doesn't roll. It just doesn't feel floaty. Like, whatever they've done in the M division to this car, like, I take my hats off to them. It feels like an M car, and when you want to chill and cruise, it can do just that. Like, it's an M car. It's got good quality. It's a BMW. The interior is a very nice place to be. Don't get me wrong, if you kind of look too far, you will find some plasticky bits around, but I'm not looking for that, man. Like, you know what I mean? I understand it's not a Rolls Royce, but what it does very well at being a mix of family and fast. And that's what I wanted, man. So from first gear, with the car in its sportiest settings, I'm just going to let it change gear. We're going to see what it revs to. Just rev it out and just give it a nice pull. All right, let's go. Geez, 7,000 RPM, the way this thing covers ground is insane. Back on the throttle. And this isn't the most unforgiving road actually, and like going back to the suspension, like it literally, it soaks up the bumps nicely, but not too much. Not too much, so you still got a half decent feel of the road. It just, listen to it roar. Like an SUV shouldn't be doing this. A stock SUV should not be doing this. Like guys, the way this car is moving, it almost makes me think that BMW are lying about the quoted 510 brake horsepower this S58 produces in the X4M. I've been in 500 brake horsepower cars that are 500 kg lighter than this and don't seem any faster. So what I thought is, why not head over to my friend Mabs at MV Motorsport to get this bad boy on the dyno to see what it makes in stock form. Also, it's kind of good to get a base before I start fettling with the car, you know? So, let's go. Mabs.
What's going on, bro?
Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome back with a new car.
I know, it's a petrol, not a diesel, but it's good to be back. And I've come to find out today exactly what power this car in stock form makes before we do anything, just as a base.
Yeah, look, it's S58, right? This is the LCI model, so it's got a slightly different exhaust system, completely different ECU hardware, although very similar software. About 510 brake horsepower, 650 Newton meters they make out the factory. Majority of the ones...
But do they?
This is the question, right?
Okay.
So, majority of them are based on the suck quantity on the GPF, so if that gets high, it reduces the boost level. No two cars make the same power.
Since I came down today, you have had it in the air, done your usual, had a check over.
Yeah.
Everything look good?
I mean, the diagnostic pinged up one fault with the oil level sensor. It might be a historic fault because your oil level sensor's working and we did a measurement and the oil levels are bang on. But there is electrical gremlins with the LCI models that we've seen before, so I don't think it's anything to worry about.
Okay.
But, you know, it's one of them things, like, I don't think there's anything major.
Sure. So with your experience with the S58, not just the X4M, because people will know these are shared through loads of different makes and models, should I say. How much power do these make stock, or should they make stock?
I mean, look, dyno numbers are one thing. You know me and dynos, right? I'm very kind of, look, if it makes this in factory, we've got to be close to that number. Okay. And then our potential, you know, whatever, when we tune them, has to be a delta gain over that number, right? So, I mean, look, stage one, about 620, 630 brake horsepower. Okay. Stage two, probably about 680 to 700. Okay. But these are very octane dependent, so you need to get good fuel in them, ethanol or race fuel, to make the numbers. But, I mean, you could quote 800 horsepower all day long, but it's never the case. I think my X3 would smoke this.
All right, listen, don't even start all that, yeah? Don't start that, because, listen.
Look, I got a gripe. You sold your 335D.
I did.
To buy this.
I did.
And your 335D was quicker.
Nah. Maybe not.
And we would have made it quicker.
All right, listen, so I'll tell you what, right? Listen, keep giving it the big one, and I'll actually race this against your diesel X3.
I'm game.
But I think what we got to do now is actually run this up on a dyno and see what it makes stock, right?
Yeah. We're going to data log it as well, so see any problems, we're able to go through it and see what's happening.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. We got a healthy one, bro.
You definitely got a healthy one. Have you put octane booster in this?
I'm not gonna lie, I actually am
running
octane booster.
Yeah, you can tell straight away through the data log. It is what it is. 519 brake horsepower, 675 Newton meters of torque.
That's strong, bro. And it's BHP, right?
This is at the flywheel.
At the flywheel.
Our dyno, but in rear wheel drive. So so X drives, you can't run them permanently on 4-wheel drive for many runs. Okay. Because it overheats the transfer case and the front diff. Okay. So the rear wheel drive is the only way to do it, unless you've got a chain linked or belt linked dyno. But yeah, if we run it on rear wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, if I was with a 4-wheel drive, this dyno will calculate the losses anyway, because it applies resistance to the load to give you your acceleration sweep. Okay. And then it will calculate and measure the actual the flow down, which is, yeah. And that minus that equals that.
Equals that.
Look, you got a nice flat torque curve, you got a nice peak, and both runs are back to back within 2 horsepower. So that tells us the only thing that affecting the horsepower between runs is the intake temperatures. Like I said, these airboxes run on top of the engine, so they heat soak a little. Okay. But I think I'll give you a run for your money in my Mrs. X3 diesel, mate.
I love how you add the Mrs. just for the cinematic
it's the
effect.
wagon.
Yes. All right, listen, I'm pretty game for that race, but before I shoot myself in my foot, what I want to do is see how this power actually translates on a real drag strip. So yes, we're about to head over to a real drag strip, run this car to see what it makes. And just like that, we're at Santa Pod Raceway, the home of British drag racing. Don't ask questions, but yes, we're here. We're about to find out what time this runs a quarter mile in, stock, with a baby seat in the back and a boot full of luggage. Real world conditions. Now let's go. All right, so stock condition. We're in my M2 mode, which is everything in its sportiest setting. Oh, that's stage 1. All right, oh, here we go, right. Let's go. Okay, we're off, boys. Okay, flying. That was a 12.1 second run, so 12.10. 0 to 60 in 3.82, which I think is exactly what BMW quote. So that's about right. I don't even know what to expect. I've seen these going in the 11 stock, but as I say, I've got a full boot, baby seat, and literal real world conditions, cold tires. That was a 12.10 at 115 miles per hour. So not too shabby, but now we know. Anyway, so there you have it. My first drive, dyno run, and first drag strip run. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of the car. For me, I honestly think it is ticked all the boxes I had hoped for and more. And I'm not just bigging it up because it's my car. Hopefully there'll be other people who have experienced the X4 or the X3M and they'll agree. But given my honest feedback, a month into ownership, honestly, the car is a very, very impressive car. God knows what it's gonna be like when I start fettling with it, which I am gonna do. Another quick thing I did want to mention before I go is actually the price of these cars. Yes, £60,000 is a lot of money. However, as an entry point into an X4M or an X3M, right now on a UK market, you can pick these up pre-LCI for around 35 grand. And that is a hell of a lot of car for the money, all things considered. And a massive shout out to Mabs from MVM for taking the time out to dyno the car. Now, he is talking a little bit too much about his diesel car being able to beat this. Let me know down below in the comments if you think it could, for one, and for two, if you want to see me smoke him, because I will set that race right up. But for now, guys, that is my first drive. If you did enjoy today's video, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. And if you enjoy this type of content and want to see more content on the X4M, please consider subscribing. And of course, we'll be back with more crazy content. Peace out.